Italy has recently signed a 3-year action plan with China, reigniting a partnership that many thought had cooled. This bold move has piqued the interest of global leaders and economists alike. But there's one burning question on everyone's mind. Will Italy's renewed ties with China shift the balance of power in European trade? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. As Italy takes center stage in this high-stakes economic drama, we're delving into the implications of this surprising alliance. From the bustling triage ports to the corridors of power in Brussels, the consequences of this decision are already evident. So buckle up as we delve into the complexities of this diplomatic dance and its potential to redraw the map of global commerce. If you're interested in international trade, subscribe to our community of informed viewers. Let's begin by unpacking Italy's surprising move. Just months ago, Rome was withdrawing from China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, a move that appeared to signal a cooling of Sino-Italian relations. So, what changed? The new 3-year action plan that Chinese Premier Li Qiang and Italian Prime Minister Giorgio Meloni signed aims to rekindle bilateral cooperation. It addresses a wide range of issues, from trade and investment to education and environmental protection. However, the real meat of the agreement is its emphasis on high-tech industries such as electric vehicles and renewable energy. Italy's motivations are clear. They want to increase exports, attract investment, and gain a competitive advantage through cutting-edge technologies. But this raises an intriguing question. What motivated Italy to withdraw from the Belt and Road Initiative only to re-establish ties now? The solution involves a delicate balancing act. Italy's experience with the Belt and Road Initiative did not produce the economic benefits it had hoped for. By negotiating a more specific agreement, Italy hopes to reap the benefits of Chinese cooperation while maintaining greater control over the terms of engagement. Prime Minister Meloni put it succinctly, "We're embarking on a new phase of bilateral cooperation in the year that marks the 20th anniversary of our global strategic partnership." It's a calculated move aimed at addressing China's long-standing trade imbalance while also creating new opportunities for Italian businesses. However, this strategic pivot is not without its challenges. When we look at the immediate goals of this renewed partnership, we can't help but wonder how this strategic move fits with Italy's position in the EU. Italy's renewed cooperation with China is not occurring in a vacuum. It comes against the backdrop of increasingly tense EU-China trade relations, which have raised eyebrows in Brussels and Berlin. Could Italy's move toward China set a precedent for other EU countries? Tell us about your predictions in the comments. The timing is especially intriguing, as the EU imposes tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, and China responds with an investigation into European pork exports. Italy's friendly overtures to Beijing are in stark contrast to the current mood. This move positions Italy as a potential bridge between the EU and China, with Prime Minister Meloni offering to facilitate improved trade relations. It's a role that could boost Italy's status within the bloc, giving it a stronger voice in shaping EU-China trade policies. However, it is a tightrope walk. Italy must balance its national interests with its obligations to the EU. There is a risk that other member states will see Italy's actions as undermining EU unity in trade talks with China. The repercussions are already being felt, with some EU countries closely monitoring whether to follow Italy's lead in seeking bilateral agreements with China. Others are taking a more cautious approach, calling for stricter investment screening and technology transfer controls. As the EU considers how to respond to Italy's move, one thing is clear: the bloc's approach to China is far from uniform. This diversity of strategies could either strengthen the EU's hand by providing multiple channels of engagement or weaken its collective bargaining power. With these broader implications in mind, let's look at what this means for Italy specifically. Now let's look at the economic risks and benefits for Italy. The renewed partnership between Italy and China centers on strategic sectors that have the potential to reshape the country's economic landscape. But what specific benefits does Italy expect to gain from working with China in these sectors? The Memorandum of Industrial Cooperation signed between Italy and China focuses on electric vehicles and renewable energy. These are not random choices. They represent sectors in which China has already established itself as a world leader. For Italy, this collaboration provides a fast track to the forefront of these technologies. Italian companies can gain access to advanced manufacturing techniques, supply chains, and research and development capabilities that would otherwise take years to develop on their own. In the electric vehicle sector, Italy sees an opportunity to revitalize its automotive industry with Stellantis, which includes Fiat, and has already formed a joint venture with Chinese EV maker Leapmotor. We are seeing the first results of this strategy. This could make Italy a key player in Europe's transition to electric mobility. Renewable energy is another area where Italy can benefit. China's expertise in solar panel manufacturing and wind turbine technology could help Italy accelerate its transition to renewable energy, potentially creating new jobs while lowering energy costs. However, it is not limited to these two sectors. The agreement also provides opportunities for collaboration in shipbuilding, aerospace, and artificial intelligence. For Italian SMEs, this could open up new export opportunities and provide access to China's vast market. However, this high-tech gamble does not come without risks. There are concerns about technology transfer and the long-term competitiveness of Italian businesses. Critics argue that while Italy may benefit in the short term, it risks becoming overly reliant on Chinese technology and investment in the long run. As we consider the potential benefits and risks, an important question arises. What are the geopolitical implications of this renewed partnership? Italy's renewed cooperation with China is more than just an economic move. It's a geopolitical statement that could change global alliances. How might this impact global trade dynamics and Italy's relationship with the United States? First, let us consider the timing. This partnership comes amid rising tensions between China and the West, particularly the United States. Italy, a G7 member and NATO ally, is effectively straddling two worlds, maintaining its Western alliances while strengthening ties with China. This balancing act could establish Italy as a bridge between China and the West. Prime Minister Meloni has already offered to facilitate better EU-China trade relations. If successful, this could boost Italy's diplomatic clout on a global scale. However, this is a risky game. The United States has pushed its European allies to take a tougher stance against China, particularly in areas such as technology and critical infrastructure. Italy's friendly overtures to Beijing may strain its relations with Washington. Furthermore, this move has the potential to influence global trade patterns. If Italy can successfully navigate this partnership, it may inspire other countries to pursue similar bilateral agreements with China, potentially fragmenting the current global trade order. There is also the question of how this will affect global supply chains. As businesses and countries seek to diversify their supply chains away from China, Italy's closer ties may be viewed as a strategic advantage or a potential vulnerability on a larger scale. Italy's actions may contribute to the ongoing transition to a more multipolar world order. By strengthening ties with both the West and China, Italy is hedging its bets in an increasingly uncertain global environment. As we consider the geopolitical implications, we are brought back to our central question. So, does this renewed cooperation usher in a new era for European trade? As we've delved into the complexities of Italy's renewed ties with China, we've discovered a complicated web of economic opportunities, political challenges, and global implications. Now, let us address our main question. Will Italy's renewed ties with China shift the balance of power in European trade? The short answer is that it is likely to happen, but not in the way most people expect. Italy's move goes beyond a simple bilateral agreement. It could serve as a blueprint for future engagement between European countries and China. Italy is pioneering a new model of engagement by shifting away from the Belt and Road Initiative's broad-stroke approach and toward a more targeted sector-specific partnership. This approach could result in a more nuanced European stance toward China, one that seeks to balance economic opportunities with strategic concerns. We may see a shift away from the binary engagement or decoupled debate and toward a more sophisticated engagement in de-risk strategy. However, the impact on the balance of power in European trade will depend on several factors. EU response. If other EU members follow Italy's lead, the EU's China policy may become fragmented. In contrast, this could prompt the EU to adopt a more cohesive and adaptable approach to engaging with China's economic outcomes. If Italy's gambit succeeds, resulting in increased exports and investment, it may strengthen Italy's position within the EU and shift the center of economic gravity southward. Success in sectors such as electric vehicles and renewable energy could help Italy, and by extension the EU, become more competitive in these critical industries of the future. Italy's role as a potential bridge between the EU and China may boost its diplomatic standing, giving it more say in shaping EU trade policies. This move could accelerate the trend toward more regionalized trade blocs, with Europe potentially serving as a link between the Western and Chinese economies. Experts are divided on the long-term implications. Some, such as Dr. Francesca Goretti of the Mercator Institute for China Studies, see it as a pragmatic approach to rebalancing Italy's economic relationship with China. Others, such as Professor Mats Angstrom of the Swedish Institute of International Affairs, warn of the potential for increased reliance on Chinese technology and critical sectors. What is clear is that Italy's decision has sparked a critical debate over how Europe should position itself in an increasingly complex global economy. It calls into question the idea of a one-size-fits-all EU approach to China and may pave the way for more targeted strategic engagements. As we conclude our investigation into Italy's China gambit, we are left with a landscape that is more complex, interconnected, and potentially more balanced than before. Italy's renewed ties with China are reshaping more than just its economic future. They are prompting a rethinking of European trade policies and global economic alignments. If you found this analysis useful, please give us a thumbs up and leave your thoughts on how it will affect global trade in the comments. We've seen how this 3-year action plan aims to boost Italy's high-tech sectors, potentially giving it a competitive advantage in emerging industries. We've looked at the delicate balancing act Italy must perform between its EU obligations and its bilateral goals. And we've thought about the broader geopolitical implications of this renewed partnership. If you want to stay ahead of the curve on global trade dynamics, subscribe to and enable notifications for additional expert analysis. What emerges is a picture of a world in transition, with traditional alliances being tested and new models of economic cooperation being developed. Italy's move could signal the beginning of a new era in European trade, one that is more nuanced, strategic, and potentially more influential on a global scale. But the story does not end here. As the partnership develops, new questions will arise. How will the other EU members respond? Will this approach produce the economic benefits that Italy seeks? And how will it influence the future of global trade dynamics? Share your thoughts and join the conversation in the comments section below. We'd like to hear your thoughts. Do you think Italy's strategy will pay off? How will this affect your country's approach to trade with China? Share your thoughts in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends who are interested in international trade. If you found this video informative, click the like button and let us know what other aspects of China's global influence you'd like us to discuss.